It's Matt, Taco Potato Mustang. So I'm sitting in the Dude Stang, my 2014 Mustang GT, and I actually just test drove a 2016 Shelby GT350, and I kind of feel like this was one of those, I don't know if it's a don't meet your heroes type moment, but it was kind of disappointing. I mean, it's a car that I've wanted since it came out, and I mean, I think it's a really good looking car. I mean, obviously, like, everybody speaks very highly of it. It's like a step up, supposed to be a step up from, the Mustang GT. So this particular one that I drove, it was at a it was not a Ford dealer, but it was like a dealer that has, like, it seems like they specialize in high-end cars. Like, they had a lot of, like, there was a Lamborghini and a Cayman GT4, bunch of Audi R8s, and a few other, like, flashy, fast, like, there's a Mercedes AMG wagon that looked like it was absolutely bananas. So there's a lot of, like, cool stuff in the lot, but it's not a Ford dealer. And the guy did say that the car had been in an accident, but it had a clean, like, title. It wasn't like a salvage or anything. And also it was a 2016, which I think I want to say was the first year of the Shelby. It was either 2015 or 2016. So, it's like only 2 years newer than my Mustang GT, and obviously, like, not the newest, which I think would be 2020 or 2021 GT350 example. But and another caveat is I didn't drive it on I don't think I got above 75 miles an hour, honestly, but because I didn't really take it on like a good road. But at the same time, it just was like, for a car that has supposed to have, like, I think around 106 horsepower more, and I would assume more torque, it just didn't feel that quick or that fast. And the sound was, I don't know if I just, like, I didn't mess with the driving modes, if that car even has them, but the sound was just okay. Like, I don't know, I guess I've heard video of Shelby flat plane cranks and it sounded awesome, but everyone talks about how it's like the best sounding Mustang, and I thought it just sounded okay. The brakes were really good. Interior is pretty nice. Did feel a little, again, it felt a little dated. It's, almost an 8-year-old or 6-year-old car. The clutch was super light. Like, I took a little bit of getting used to. And then, of course, when I got back into my GT, I had to, like, push my leg with my hand to push the clutch in more easily. And I don't know, I feel like, on the one hand, I'm like, it's kind of sad. Maybe I'd hyped it up a little bit in my head. And I'm sure there's people who will try to revoke my Mustang enthusiast card for saying this, but honestly, I liked the 2021 GT California Special that I drove maybe like 3 months ago more than the 2016 Shelby GT350. Like, it was more fun to drive. It felt like a nicer car. I mean, maybe it's an unfair comparison because the difference in, like, trim and tech and, like, and features was just too much. But the 2005 just drove by. But I think the Shelby has the Tremec, like a different transmission that's supposed to be better than the transmission on the GTs, and it just felt okay. Like, the shifter was okay. It wasn't great, And I guess underwhelmed is probably the best word. And honestly, it kind of made me think that I want a GT more, especially since you can get a new GT for, assuming you're not dealing with crazy dealer markup, but you can get a new GT for presumably $10,000 less. This particular Shelby had like 6,000 miles on it, and they were asking like 61,000, which, I mean, I get it. Like, Shelby's carry their value, they hold their value really well, and they're supposed to be, good for track cars and collectors, I guess. But I don't know. There's a couple of the takeaways are, again, it made me really like appreciate my car again more, as I feel like I've set it up in a way that I just really enjoy driving it, like in terms of the suspension, the exhaust, the shifter, the steering wheel. And I just feel like if I was gonna get a new an upgraded Mustang, it would be much more likely that I would get either like a new GT, or I'd probably look at the Mach 1, which has a lot of similarities with the GT, though it has less power than the Shelby. So I don't know, just wanted to get these thoughts recorded while they were kind of fresh in my mind. But I mean, I guess the other big takeaway is I don't feel like I desperately want a Shelby GT350 anymore. Whereas up until today, I think I was like, oh, I really would love to get one of these cars. I mean, I feel like, I could, if I had the opportunity to do a better test drive in a newer one, I certainly would take it. But yeah, the new GT was really good, and I really like my GT, and it didn't make me, want to trade it in and for a Shelby. Definitely didn't seem like it was worth $61,000. So yeah, so that's my my rambling for today. So it's I don't know, a few days or a week later after I drove that Shelby, and I was doing a little bit more reading about those cars and just thinking about what I missed or what I didn't understand. And I mean, obviously the big one, I'm sure if you are familiar with the cars, is that I think they redline at I want to say 8,000 RPMs. So even with 520 something horsepower, if you don't reach peak power until almost 8,000 RPMs, it's just not going to feel that fast. And also, I think I was reading that the torque figure on those cars is I want to say it was in the 420s, 430 maybe. It's the stock Coyote torque number, I think on the 11 to 14s was in the 390 range. So the torque is not a lot more than a GT Mustang. And so yeah, I mean, I guess all the things taken into context just made me think it's not so much that it was disappointing. It's just that probably for the type of driving that I did in it, it just wasn't the right, I guess if I was going to drive a Shelby again at some point, I would try to have it on a track, or at least get on the highway so I could feel the engine rev the way it's supposed to. But yeah, I mean, it's just another experience. I think I try not to overthink it, but I do think that if I was looking at ever upgrading or getting to a more expensive, higher end Mustang, I'd probably look at something a little bit newer, or something with the power. I feel like I can't say that I've spent enough time at the track or doing the type of driving that you really get, that I would really get a lot out of having a car that's like made for the track. I haven't made it enough. You know, if I didn't have a job and I was independently wealthy, I feel like I'd spend a lot more time doing like track days or, you know, autocross or whatever. But, you know, I think what I need out of my Mustangs is like decent handling, decent braking, acceleration that, you know, is fun enough that it's exhilarating, but I don't go into orbit or off the road or, you know, off a cliff or whatever. But yeah, in non-Shelby Mustang related news, I did have something kind of exciting for the garage that I got. I officially have a compressor. I haven't tried this yet, but my plan is to give it a little test sometime in the next few days just to see how loud it is. I also have a air hose kit with all these different attachments. I think the thing that I'm most excited about, as ridiculous as this is being able to put air in my own tires in my garage. I mean, I'm sure I'll find plenty of other uses for it, but it's just like, there's only a couple gas stations within a reasonable distance, and for the longest time, one of them, the air pump thing was broken, and the other one had like a funky credit card machine, and it's just like, I don't want to use a credit card to pay like $2 to try and put air in my tires and then have it not even work. Just annoying. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about having a compressor and being able to do more stuff. Anyways, I don't have any other updates at the moment. I have some stuff I want to do on both cars when I have time. But yeah, just keep an eye out for Fox Mustang updates, and maybe we'll do a sandwich or taco review sometime in the coming weeks. Anyways, hope you're staying healthy. Hope you're staying safe. Peace out.